So this was our wee boy Gregor, who was born at 26 weeks after my waters broke at 21 weeks. I experienced numerous bleeds throughout my pregnancy. He survived a 12-hour labour, and as you can see from this picture taken by the intensive care team at William Harvey Hospital, he looks very shiny and jaundiced. The doctors had given him numerous doses of surfactant to try and make him breathe. I believe as parents, when Gregor was born prematurely, we went into a state of shock, and we had to adapt quickly to the whole situation, myself expressing milk regularly, and us seeing him with numerous tubes and on a ventilator. As you can see from this next video, he became very, very ill with a condition called NEC, necrotizing enterocolitis, which is very prevalent in premature babies who are born extremely early. I would advise parents to question everything about their child, because obviously if you're in a position where you don't really know the terms, you need to find out, so you have to ask questions and ask about the terminology, what it means, what medications your child has been given, and try and write these things down. It's worth getting yourself a diary and keeping a diary about all the things that you've been told that have occurred and what has happened. With NEC, what we found out was in a lot of cases they stop the baby's feeds, and if we had known, we should have questioned as to whether our son's feeds had been stopped or not, but we didn't at the time. We didn't know this, so it's very important to ask questions and find out, to be proactive for your child, if you can be.
You're opening your eyes, are you? Very good.
Beautiful.
You're opening your eyes.
Whilst in Brighton Hospital, we were regularly sat down daily, and we had discussions with the consultants about Gregor's care and as to what their next steps would be as to helping him with his care. It was very, very difficult. We had some serious conversations. At one point we had advice from a brain specialist in America, who told us he was actually surprised that Gregor was even still alive. That's how bad his brain bleeding was. There was no way that it would repair itself. And then Gregor started breathing on his own. And it was very, very difficult because the consultants were in a position where obviously he was breathing for himself, yet his brain bleeding was so severe that he was going to have no quality of life. But he was really out to prove everybody wrong time and time again. He tried his best to survive up until the point that his main line went, and they couldn't put anything back in, and that was when we knew he had made his own decision, really. Well, his body had made the decision for him that he wasn't going to survive. And I think the hardest thing as a mother, especially having a baby, is knowing that your baby is actually going to die, because as a mother you try and care and nurture your baby to live, to survive. So that was really, really difficult for us as a family to take in, and to get our heads around. But we tried to make the best of the time that we had left with him, knowing that he was going to die. And we tried to do normal things that we would do with a baby at home. And we encouraged Gregor's sister Ava to hold him and try and sort of have a few walks together as a family, and things like that. And he managed to start drinking milk, and he was drinking from a bottle of expressed milk that I would express, yet there wasn't the absorption going on in his bowel properly, so he wasn't absorbing the food like he should have been, and along with the brain implications, this is why he did die. His body just shut down, and so that was very, very hard for us to I suppose just know that we were taking home our baby to die. It was just really, really difficult. I don't think we'll ever get over that. But we have lovely memories with him, and we wanted to share his story so other parents maybe could understand some other things, or compare it to their, well, maybe not to understand, but to compare it to their own situations, because we felt that there was nobody else to really speak to, i.e. like parents to speak to. A lot of other parents who were on the units had children that were going to survive. There were some parents who whose children had already died and passed away, and it's just very difficult, and I think it's quite a taboo subject. A lot of people feel like they can't speak, or it's not the right time to speak. This is 5 years on, and I'm only really speaking about it now, and I feel it's the right time to speak about it. Although we have spoken about it, just to share Gregor's story, I think, is important.